Okay,
What are
it's
the
going to be
names?
the
What are
two
the
gay
names of
whales.
fucking gigantic gay whales?
The
All
two
right.
gay whales, Ron and Howard.
Ron and Howard.
Ron
Nice.
and Howard.
Perfect.
There you go.
Fucking perfect.
This is how magic is made, folks.
At the last minute,
where's my
live.
We're fucking
Shit.
streaming.
Oh my god. Anyway, as soon as he gets back, I'm starting. Is it? Are his clothes just hanging in the doorway? Like he's just got a fucking.
Forgot my
All
beard.
right. In this episode of the Red Eye Report, we discuss one specific political movement. We bring the smoke with a brand new wood fire grill, and as usual, we make being angry great again. With me this week is the all-seeing Oracle. He recently made cybersecurity great again. It was at the expense of a few old bitches with cancer, but hey, gotta crack a few eggs to make an omelet, right?
That's right. Cutting down on costs.
Next to
Thanks,
him is the
Doge.
fluffy teddy bear. Teddy doesn't have to make anything great again. Dude's always been a fucking pimp.
Goddamn right.
We've also got a soot-covered ashtray. Ashtray's so high, he thought MAGA was some sort of anti-color movement, and they were saying, make America gray again. Last and least, I'm the Mystic, and I once made a waiter great again. Some more of that fucking cheese, that stingy bitch. And this is the Red Eye Report.
More.
More? All right. So, I don't know, man. I kind of just threw this together because I didn't know what to fucking talk about tonight. Oh yeah, sorry. Fucking Ron and Howard.
Ron and
Uh,
Oh yeah.
Our weekly tribute, or not tribute,
You are fucking high.
head of the week. We got two of them today. It's two gay humpback whales. That somehow the Dane County Humane Society has the facilities to
Right?
there's a giant.
The
There's
the
a giant.
biggest fucking animal on the planet, dude.
It was a grant that Doge is trying to shut down, but like they were putting in whale pools.
Actually, that's where all that Social
LGBT
Security
whale
money
pools.
is going. Is actually to
right.
fund the whale tanks at the Dane
Whale
County
tank.
Humane Society.
Safe spaces
Yeah.
for gay whales.
All right, so this gay whales named Ron and Howard. They love each other, and they've been persecuted by fucking evil anti-gay whale people.
Yeah, the
Whoever they
baker in St. Louis, no, Salt Lake City, that's right, would not make their gay wedding cake, and so they had to flee.
Gotcha. All right. I learned a new word today, by the way. Ignoble. It's an actual word.
Ignoble.
It's anti-noble. Ignoble.
Oh,
Fucking dude that got Al Green, who got censured today, used it in his speech. And at first I thought he was just like being a Trump and making words up, but no, it's real. All right. So
Sure.
I was thinking about Teddy's thing the last one that he did, where all those black people died. And I was thinking, like, white people can't even let the black people just live by themselves and create communities of their own, right? So now we got this "Make America Great Again." Like, everyone's heard the term. So really what they're saying, in my opinion, and tell me if I'm wrong, if you guys think I'm wrong, is they want to make America white again. Or to the white, the 1950s is what I think of, right? Like that's their goal, right? Is to make it the 50s and the 60s, where white people controlled fucking literally everything, and
No
shit was
regulation.
fucking segregated. You know what I'm saying? Like that's in my head. That's what they're saying. A 78-year-old white man is screaming, "Make America Great Again," because he doesn't like the fact that fucking someone's woke or whatever the fuck he talks about. You know what I mean? It's insane to me.
yeah.
So I was thinking,
But I also think
where
they
did this?
are thinking of those it's like that kind of nostalgia heyday for a time where it's like maybe some of them were kids, but otherwise it's just like it's a fiction and of what you've read in history, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. They don't know. I mean, they may have. Well, Trump's 78, so he was born in what fucking.
Sure, like people like Trump.
He was young
Um,
in the 50s and 60s, teenagers in the 60s probably,
yes, the boomers
and he was
and
rich,
Xers.
so it's different, obviously, for him. You know what I mean? But when they say it, and I'm a white dude, and even in my head, I'm like, you really want to make it great again? Because it wasn't great for everybody. Absolutely not. So the term actually originally was used by Ronald Reagan in a campaign slogan in 1980, in his 1980 fucking was it his acceptance speech? No, hold on. The National Convention, his acceptance speech at the 80 National Convention. He said, "For those without job opportunities, will stimulate new opportunities, particularly in inner cities where they live. For those who've abandoned hope, will restore hope and will welcome them into a great national crusade to make America great again." So the term was also used by Bill Clinton in 1992. Hillary, uh, President Clinton. He also used the phrase in a radio commercial for his wife in 2008. And then
No shit, he
obviously
used
Trump
it
kinda,
in 2008.
yeah,
Wasn't that around when?
this
Because remember, Trump would say he was going to run for like multiple elections prior to when he
was in
actually did
12.
it.
Yeah, in 12 he really thought about doing it. It has it in this thing here in 2012 because he was going to run against Obama, and that was when he really started making it. He started actually with the phrase "Make America Number One Again," which was changed in 2015 to "Make America Great Again," and then that was branded as MAGA. So let's just talk about what it was like in the 50s for black people. You know what I mean?
Yay!
I'm not okay. I don't want to like piss anybody off here, Teddy, but it was probably pretty great for black people.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
So obviously we had Jim Crow laws. Black people and white people weren't allowed to fucking be in the same goddamn bathrooms,
Let
You know
alone
what I mean?
marry.
So is that
Yeah.
what Ronald Reagan was referring to? Was the 1950s when he was saying "Make America Great Again"? I guess.
Yeah.
Why are we
Yeah.
picking that?
because
time
because
period.
the 50s post World War II
That was the heyday.
was the biggest boom. It was the heyday of America because the rest of the world was fucking destroyed.
Right.
Europe was fucking in tatters.
Mhm.
We were the only manufacturing powerhouse on the
Right.
planet.
Right.
And that's why everybody had fucking good jobs. That's why we
Yeah.
were so fucking prosperous.
And the war itself also like took America out of the depression. Was before that.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
America was shit for a while, and then everybody like feels like this is when America's on top.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's possible that when these old white people say that they want to make America great again, that they're just talking economically, but they're not. We all know they're not. You know what I mean? Because
Mhm.
even though everyone was doing better economically, black people were still and not just black, but Latinos and whatever were still disproportionately making less, or proportionally making a shit ton less than their white counterparts at any job. You know what I mean? It wasn't just a fucking like it was full on segregation. Like that's it, and that's how. So the Jim Crow laws, obviously, in segregation. So in so prior to World War II, most black people worked as like low wage farmers, factory workers, domestics, or servants even. So like by the 40s though, during World War II, those black people, because a lot of them, there were a lot of black people that was served in World War II, but a majority were white, right? So the black people took up the jobs in the factories that those people left and shit like that. which was another problem when they came back because they just got fired. So all these fucking defense jobs opened up. And then I didn't know 55 was when Rosa Parks happened. I really thought it was before that. But 1955, and really think about that, that was only 70 years ago.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, that's fucking nuts. Donald Trump was 8 years old when Rosa Parks fucking refused to move her seat on the bus because it was a segregated fucking bus. That is insane. That blows my fucking mind that people had that mindset. And we want to make it a great like that again? Like, you know what I'm saying? Holy shit. Why are we
Well-
voting for these fuckers? Well, I didn't, but why are
I did it twice.
The yeah, no, I think if anything, you could say it.
I think my wife's gonna hit me.
The left's pandering to like you say, the far woke issues that makes those people in that kind of middle, like, I just can't afford shit and blah blah. It's like,
yeah.
at least
But that isn't
currently,
some
like,
black
that was
dude's
just enough for
fault.
Trump. A lot of black people voted for Trump.
Yeah, and they're just as dumb as the white ones that did.
There are a lot of dumb voters.
Like,
But
see, in 54, dude, schools were still segregated in 1954, 70 years ago. Black and white kids didn't even go to school together in the South.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Brown versus Board of Education was in
racism
54.
takes a while to get out of the system.
57 was the Little Rock Nine, where they were, the guinea pigs, basically. Let's fucking throw these black kids into this white school and see what happens. Film it. That's fucking great.
Oh yeah.
So
I wonder, like, you remember those famous photos of that where, like, they're that, like, freaking nasty Karen ass bitch, like, yelling at the black student who's going in,
Right.
like, high schooler. It's
Yeah.
like, man, her face is so
The black
prominent.
kid.
It's like, like, I wonder what 50 years, 40 years later, what she thought of herself, knowing that
right.
she's in those famous photos. That white bitch.
Right.
So, and then I was thinking about, dude, Donald Trump compared himself to Martin Luther King one time. You know what I'm saying?
of course he
think
did.
about the absurdity,
Yeah.
the fucking absurdity of that statement. Holy shit! So
Oh, he's
I
hoping
didn't know
to get
this.
he's hoping to get the Nobel Peace Prize for
Yeah, right.
for forcing Ukraine to heal.
Yeah.
All right, we got peace negotiations with Russia getting what they want.
I didn't know this, but in 1964, the Civil Rights Act was signed.
You didn't
it
know that
guaranteed
happened?
equal employment. No, I didn't know that. This is some of the things that changed. The law guaranteed equal employment for all, limited the use of voter literacy tests. Let's let that
Oh, I forgot about
statement
those.
sink in. Limited the use of voter literacy tests, which means they still had them. You had to fucking
Yeah.
prove if you could read to vote. And then they had it got rid of they still had the tax. They still had a poll tax that they used back in the day to keep black people, when they did get the right to vote, from voting because they didn't have any money. You know what I'm saying? Like, you had to pay to vote back in the day.
to counteract that. A lot of people would pay the tax, and you had a ticket that you would get a receipt for it, and they would go to lines and just hand out those receipts to prove the
Really?
yeah. So
That's
they paid the
fucking-
tax for it. So that's how they helped to get around that.
Wow. Yeah, so the
Well,
voting
it's funny
rate-
is, like, you could argue that literacy test be to the fucking given to the white people who voted for Trump. Like, are you that dumb?
Yeah. No,
But yeah,
you're-
no,
I mean, you're
I'm
absolutely
sure
right.
like they
It's-
only gave the literacy tests to anyone.
Oh, absolutely, it was to the
it was
black
like,
people. It
you
was the-
dumb hillbilly, bucktooth motherfucking Bubba, like, they ain't giving
Right.
you a literacy test.
Yeah. So, and then you guys remember redlining, right? We did a.
Is that
did
the
we-
housing
Is
thing?
that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
where they specifically would fucking not give loans to black people in certain neighborhoods or minorities because they wanted to keep the communities together, which is ironic because they tried to do that in the fucking 20s and then you guys fucking firebombed their asses and shit. So I guess for the rest of this time, I don't what do you guys think has led to this? Because we were making progress, I think, as a society with Obama. And then along came fucking Trump in 2016. And I don't know, like, what part of the zeitgeist he captured to make people think that the 50s and the 60s were just a better time. You know what I'm saying? Like, they may have been for your white fucking ancestors or your white, fucking grandparents, but they weren't for everybody, dude. And that's how a society works. It's not just you.
Yeah, I don't know. I think like it is like I truly believe Trump is the first like postmodern president. And just even based
define
on
that. What do you mean by postmodern?
well,
president?
postmodern in the sense that like how he manipulates the media by not giving a fuck about the media. And yeah, sure, like from our perspective of being like we didn't vote for him, and the media does show all of his contradictions, or where he's like, "Yep, doing these tariffs," and then wasn't it just today? Now he's like, "All right, we're holding back on the tariffs," and it's like the thing is the stock market is like, "What the fuck,"
Yeah, because the stock market started to tank, so now he's got to fucking pull back.
But like postmodern in the sense too that he truly like is shameless. Like
absolutely he is.
And but I mean he does have his finger to the wind, and he basically like null and voids the factor of being held accountable by the press because he just shamelessly abashes them or says like you can't, like the Associated Press can't come into the White House press room anymore. Like really, the AP? Like what about Huffington Post, or like something that's definitely like
but
a left-leaning?
There's plenty of fucking podcast motherfuckers that are in there, like right-wing podcasts.
And that like he taps into a good chunk of the population
because he's a celebrity, man.
Well, there's not only the celebrity that's how
I think a lot of
prior,
it is the celebrity.
First president
taps in.
It's a true celebrity.
Well, no, Reagan was a celebrity.
No, he's a celebrity in the sense that like people knew him prior. But like I'm saying, he taps into that, and this is not like just white people, but it is a lot of that like let's burn this fucker down. Like I don't think much of the government, and Trump is the only candidate I've seen in a while who like puts the finger to all these government institutions that I've decided myself. I'm like, fuck the government. And like he's riding on that kind of nihilistic desire, but also like that kind of like Silicon Valley, like move fast, break stuff. Is that what their motto was? Yeah, like that kind of mindset too with the government. Like that is the whole point of what the founding fathers did. Bureaucracy, it's slow, it's cumbersome, it's a pain in the ass, and doesn't always work as it should, but it's that cumbersomeness that like prevents us from doing drastic shit that causes big major fuck ups.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. It's a double-edged sword. Yeah, you can get rid of a lot of fucking things instantly, but you're going to cause just as many problems.
Yeah.
As the stuff you get rid of.
I think it has more to do. This has less to do with race than it has to do with class.
Yeah.
And
sure.
So
I'll agree with that.
What we're seeing is, and it's a little kind of misguided and fucked up because people are voting for kind of Trump as like the people's champion, and yet he is also like saying like, okay, if you pay us enough money, you get the golden visa or whatever. We want just the richest people. So there's all this, kind of classic Trump stuff, but also he's somehow gotten the message out or been on the platform of like, yeah, I'm every man's, thing. Let's tear down the establishment. And kind of government and big government was associated with the elite, even though the real elite, we're seeing that, is like the tech bros and things like that. And I think really, people weren't given good options. It's like, okay, here, let's continue on doing the same thing that we've been doing.
Right.
And you're increasingly getting crushed by this unbridled capitalism. Or here's this other thing where it's just kind of like a wild card. Fuck it.
Yeah.
We're just going to see what happens, And I think they chose the wild card as a result. I mean,
and a lot of people weren't paying like real attention like we were to all the shit that went down in the first term for Trump. Like there are a lot of people who kind of whatever, they heard things of headlines, but these are also people who get their news on TikTok.
Right.
Yeah.
So they vote again. Look it.
The last thing I want to talk about are the Pekin Chinks.
That sounds racist.
It is super racist.
Pekin
Up until
Chinks.
1981, there's a town in Illinois. It's outside of Peoria. They were called the Chinks. The name of the town is Pekin, Illinois, and they named it that because they believe it's the exact. If you draw a straight line from Peking, China, it comes through Pekin, Illinois, which is completely false. They've actually tried to figure it out.
That's not even...
now that we have satellites and shit.
Yeah, right.
That's not even close.
Yeah.
Right. But their name of the mascot for their high school were the Chinks. Until 1981. I guess that's what I'm trying to point out is how racist it was ingrained in the society so much. People were just like, that's cool, dude.
Potosi chieftains. I don't know if they still have the chief,
Yeah.
It was a very regal chieftain logo.
Right.
Great logo.
But that's not the Chiefs. They're the Chinks. Like the Chinks is the fucking just a completely racist. It'd be like calling it the Chicago N-words.
That's true. Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like,
it wasn't the Potosi Savages or
right? Right.
Potosi Inchins.
The Milan Wops.
Chicago niggas do sound pretty
you know what I mean? What, Teddy?
Chicago niggas do sound pretty intimidating.
Right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
that would probably be an upgrade for the Bears, honestly. I mean, they need something.
Yeah, and they also had a roller skating rink in their town called the Chink Rink.
Oh my god, Chink Rink!
With that kind of rhyme, and you had to do it. You had to do it.
The thing, what was the population of this place? Does it say?
It doesn't say in this article.
And up until 1981 too, it's like just like with Potosi, it's like, oh yeah, like you don't realize how much like racist like humor and jokes you grow up with because there's no one around to be offended.
Yeah, that's true. That's
what
true.
I realized.
Right.
I'm like, oh yeah, like well, it didn't bother anyone because there was no one. We were not diversified. We were so small.
And I think that's kind of a good example though, because in a world with such economic disparity and just unchecked capitalism, who cares about the chinks in the reality of, like, seriously though, like at that point,
as in if it was a news story,
right? But that is what is kind of this whole anti-woke DEI fucking shit. It's like that message like gets so bastardized.
I
while
see.
while yet it's like, oh well, we're just gonna steal everybody's Social Security, and we're just going to
Right.
you know, gut your health care, and we're gonna, you know, all this stuff. And but they rename the army bases back to what they've, you know, Fort Meade is Fort Meade again. It's just like, who fucking cares? Like
Gulf of America.
Exactly. So it's like these things are conflated, and they're not the same thing, right? Like they're but it kind of gets bundled into that, like, oh yeah, we're gonna make America great again, or whatever. The hamsters aren't gonna be gay anymore, or whatever the fuck.
Right.
Like I don't.
The humpback whales,
you know, and it like some of this stuff you hear it, it's just like, man, that's what you're so worried about. Like,
yeah. Well, I'm gonna read this paragraph. And it's going to sum up exactly what you were just saying and the whole point of this conversation. This is a person from Peking High School that was quoted as saying,
back in
I
81?
graduated. Huh?
Was this back during that time in 81 when they've had to finally change his name, or is this current?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if this is current, but we'll discuss after. I graduated from Pekin Community High School in 1960. I was also voted by the student body to be the mascot Chink. It was a great honor and still is to me today. Another girl in my class was voted Chinklet. We wore Chinese costumes and greeted cheerleaders from the opposing team in the middle of the basketball floor before each home game. It was a gesture of a welcome and good sportsmanship. I'm still upset today that the school buckled under the change and changed the name to the Dragons in 1981. It was the result of pointy-headed, pablum-sucking liberals who run the political correctness Gestapo in this country. I do detest them so much. I am attending my 45th high school class reunion this weekend, and in God's little acre called Pekin, Illinois. And I will proudly wear my Pekin Chinks shirt. Liberals and their pathetic ilk can go to hell.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah,
that is insane. That's the mindset that I'm talking about. He graduated in 1960, which means he lived through the 50s and the 60s. And for him, it's okay to fucking use an obviously fucking racist term as your mascot for your fucking high school, dude. It blows my mind.
It's just tradition. So actually, where did the Chinks name come from? Just because they thought they were directly across?
Yes, so they named their city Peking instead of Peking. And they were the Chinks. Because Chinks was a racist term for Chinese people.
Right. That's what it was like. There was this city, like, when was it founded? Like, how old is this? Was it always Pekin? Just because?
You listen to any point.
It's ridiculous. But they're like, we're.
We didn't know
just because I'm thinking of like,
yeah, this isn't the fucking Da Vinci Code, dude. I mean,
nonetheless, yes, it is a small little fucking town.
Anyway, any final thoughts on MAGA? We're gonna make it great.
Oh, oh yeah, 31,000. That's not too small. Shit, it's bigger Potosi.
It's like
I got excuses.
2 Marshfields put together. It's like almost the size of Wausau. That's way more people than I thought. I was thinking like 1,200 or some shit. The Chinks. Anyway, all right. Fuck MAGA. And if anyone's conservative and still listening to this show, fuck you, South. That's all I'm gonna say.
Fuck you, South. There are northern conservatives too.
No, you're right. I'm not going to say conservative. If you're a Trump supporter and you're still listening to this show, go fuck yourself. All right, we're going to move on to the What's Sexy section. Oracle. Indy.
Yeah. So I went down to my local public library and decided to try out that new Indiana Jones game.
Fantastic game.
Yeah.
Now, what do they give you a disc, or like how's it work through the library with a game?
Yeah, they have the physical media.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So
No shit. Jesus.
playing the game, like it
And
starts
you're like,
off,
I don't have a CD drive anymore.
and it's kind of like a
Is this for PC? I'm sorry, PC or Xbox?
I'm playing it on Xbox, or I was
okay.
playing it on Xbox. So it starts off and it's kind of like a shot for shot of the Last Crusade, kind of that opening scene when he's
Temple of Doom.
or Temple of Doom.
Temple of Doom.
When the big
It's Raiders of the Lost Ark, not Temple.
or Raiders of the Lost Ark. Sorry,
It's the first movie, Raiders.
Yeah. So it's kind of shot for shot. You can tell that they were trying to reproduce the whole thing. And I was kind of like, oh, this is what this game is. Like at first it was like, oh, this is fun. Wow, they really got this. But then after a while, it's kind of like, I don't know. But after you get past that initial thing, it launches into kind of its own Indiana Jones adventure. With same characters from the movies, but own plot, and they really did a great job of capturing kind of like the puzzle aspect of it, where you're going in,
I agree,
and you're trying to figure this shit out, and kind of like these ridiculous almost made for video game kind of puzzles that Indiana Jones had to do. It translates really well to this. Another thing that's super surprising to me was I didn't really know like what the combat was going to be in this game, because this was actually made by Machine Games, the guys that make the new Wolfenstein games. So they've got a lot of chops in terms of like first-person shooter, but it's like, what, Indiana Jones just going to go around fucking killing everybody?
right?
And it really isn't that.
It reminds me of the scene when he shoots the guy.
Oh, you got to be way more stealthy.
Yeah, you're way more stealthy. You've got the whip, which is more used for a lot of puzzle stuff. You're not getting into direct combat. But one thing is you just have like all of these objects around, like hammers, fucking batons, candles, shit like that you pick up, and you can knock people out with them.
Beat people.
Yeah, you just like beat them over the head, bludgeon them over the head with it. And it works really well. And the movement and everything, it's great. I did not expect this to be, I thought it was more like a novelty type thing, but it really is kind of a complete experience. So yeah, if you like Indiana Jones at all, I definitely recommend this. It's just it's a great video game. It's a very good game. And they also have some really nice customization stuff where you can do a playthrough that doesn't have a lot of combat in it. If you just want to do like the puzzle solving and stuff like that, you can do that as well. So check it out. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, and I think that's available on Xbox, PC. I think it'll eventually come to the.
It's free on Xbox.
on Game Pass. Yep.
Yeah. It's I don't play single player games, like hardly ever. And I played probably a quarter of this so far. Like I don't play it often, but it's fun. It does help. Indiana Jones is my favorite trilogy. I loved it as a kid. I still do. But but you're right. It feels like you're in the movie, man. Yeah. It's fantastic. Just fucking trying to figure out these fucking ways to get around these fucking
dirty Germans.
Italian. Well, there's more Italians in it too. There's some Germans.
Yeah, they did a great job of making it. Doesn't feel like it's a derivative. It feels like it's the next kind of chapter.
Yeah, it takes place kind of in between.
Yeah.
In between Raiders and Temple of Doom, I think, somewhere around there.
Oh, okay. For like you were saying earlier,
it starts off where there's like a break-in at the fucking place he's teaching at the college that he teaches at. Like he has to solve this fucking puzzle, and it's cool because there's the actual actors that play it
Right.
too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
they did a great job.
right.
I don't
Very well
like
acted.
the voice,
cutscenes and
right?
shit.
The voice acting and stuff. I don't know if they got impersonators or if it's AI or whatever, but it's really
Right.
top notch.
Yeah. Word. All right. Ashtray, the
See?
creator.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Do you guys
I
remember
liked
this
it.
movie?
Yeah.
It was one of those like
Yeah.
I actually only just recently watched it. It was kind of like I remember seeing the trailers for it or whatever, and I was like, oh, that looks pretty cool. And then whatever, got distracted by squirrel on TikTok. But yeah, it was. It might still be on Prime.
I think I
watched
used it as
recently.
my What Sexy one time.
Shit. Well, if you did, then I'm gonna piggyback on you.
Oh, it was mainly because the guy who directed it kind of figured out a new way to shoot special effects, and he did this movie for like
Oh,
a
really?
fucking fraction of the cost of a normal Hollywood movie.
Really?
Oh shit! Because it's like
Yeah,
it's like
fucking
AAA
great.
level like
Yeah.
effect.
Because like a lot of the CGI, the computer processing and shit that they use, like the rendering out that's what takes a lot of the fucking time, right?
Time
So
and
you're
then the
paying for
budget
all
that
the
you're
shit.
paying for that.
The budget, yeah. So what he did is he shot in certain locations. So if you watch the movie, the first like 40 or 50 feet of that shot is real. They actually shot it there. It's live action. But behind that are these pre-rendered sets that they would set up fucking while they were filming. And it made it like it, dude, it's crazy. Like the behind the scenes shit. If you ever want to go check out some cool behind the scenes shit, it's fucking.
Oh, I'll have to check that out because yeah, it's definitely like just kind of that one of those too. It's I like a good sci-fi that is its own universe.
Right.
And essentially, it's like you're following the main character who is, we're living in a post world where AI set off an atomic bomb in LA, and the West goes to war with Asia, who are still like, no, like we are using AI because the whole world was not AI, but also like call them not androids, but like AI synthetic humanoids.
Yeah.
And a cool kind of like post-dystopian world where like imagine that too, like of course only America would be like no more AI, like we're getting rid of it all, whereas the rest of the world's like fuck you America, and then like we're gonna fight the rest of the world to try to destroy their AI robots so they could just make more of, like come on.
Right.
Yeah, I really liked how this movie kind of like you're saying is its own universe or whatever. It's doing its own thing. Like, yeah, some of the tropes or whatever, we've heard that before, but it feels kind of like its own fucking thing. It's not like part 17 of a series or whatever. It's just good in 2025 or whatever.
Yeah.
It's not trying to be Blade Runner.
Right, like a new fucking IP out there. Somebody trying to do something new. Awesome.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, I think it's still on Prime, so check it out.
Yeah, it's the movie, they made it for 80 million, which
Wow.
Jesus.
Wow, that's really good.
It looks normally that budget would be 200.
200 million.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, check it out. Who's up next? Teddy with Secret Level.
Boom. Secret Level is it's from the people who did Love, Death, and Robots. It's the same thing, but the stories are all based in video game worlds. And some of them are pretty. Well, all of them are pretty awesome.
Are they all their
Pac-Man.
own unique video game worlds, or are these actual like intellectual property like themes?
No. These are all like video game worlds. So I mean, they have a Mega Man one, they have a Pac-Man one.
Okay, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah. there's a 40,000K one. But yeah, it's awesome. It's on Amazon Prime.
Secret level.
I mean,
how many episodes?
I think it's like 12 or 16 or something.
Oh, damn, that's not bad.
They released like 8, then they released like another 8 or something like that.
Each episode is a whole different.
Yep.
Universe.
Tyler Reed is in one. You've got Arnold Schwarzenegger. You've got a lot of Kevin Hart's in one. Yeah, it's a pretty cool show. Check it out.
Yeah, that is badass.
Word. All right. My wet sexy. You guys ever had all dressed chips?
No.
I think I have tried them once, and they're delicious.
Yeah, they're Canadian chip. That is just recently. Yeah, I know, right?
You better fucking stock up, man.
I bought 2 bags the other day. They're fantastic, dude. They're like sour cream and onion, salt and vinegar, and barbecue all in one chip.
Right, and just the
so you get like
right
this little
ratio.
Tangy, you get a sweet, it's fucking fantastic. The best. I'm not a huge potato chip fan, but they are the best potato chips I've had in a very long time. So yeah, check them out. Coming from a fat guy, that's high praise.
That's right.
All right. Next, we're gonna tell you what we think you should go fuck yourself with. And I'm gonna start off with fuck them cripples. So I use a wheelchair at work because it's hard for me to get around with my hip. And I really wish people would just stop holding doors for me. Like, I know that sounds like an asshole thing to say, but like people hold the door more and for a longer period of time when you are in a wheelchair. And I can open the fucking door, dude. My arms work fine. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's my legs that have the problem, or my hip. So like, it's just get out of the way. Like the people, they fucking. That's kind of what I want to say. Like they'll try to awkwardly like hold it. Oh, should I stand here? Just fucking walk away, and I can open the door. Like, but I don't want to say that because like that's just a dick thing to say. Yeah, dude. Like,
but at the same time, they're like, oh my god, like I don't want to be rude. Like when you're sitting in the fucking handicap stall and you see a wheelchair come out from underneath the fucking, bathroom stall door, which is a true story.
Happened?
A friend of mine.
Oh. Really?
Oh, yeah, he said he was like, oh man, he was like, it wasn't even like super busy, but like, oh yeah, I just like went to the end bathroom stall and like, it was the handicap one, but whatever, I'm taking a shit. And then like this wheelchair rolls up and I can see it underneath and I'm like, oh fuck, like hurry up. Like felt like a total ass.
Oh man.
Wow. Anyway, yeah. Fuck them cripples. All right. Ashtray. Juicy headlines.
Oh yeah. Just another couple recent examples of where it's like juicy headlines and like bullshit details. So the recent one was this fucking with Gene Hackman dying, which ain't that a puzzler? They were basically like 30 years apart, him and his wife. And of course everybody thought, how could you?
Was she like a mail order bride or some shit? Because isn't she Asian?
No, she was like some sort of a concert.
Well, she looks Asian, but
musician, wasn't she?
Yeah, no, I think she was pretty famous on her own.
All right.
And like that's how they met. But the anyways, it's like they have an age gap. Like he was in his 90s, she was in his 60s, and
right. It's not like she was 18 or something.
But it's like him, her, and the dog are dead. Gas leak, right? Everybody's gotta be a gas leak.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, they're like, well, found no gas leak.
Weren't there 2 other dogs that did die though?
Yes, there are 2 others that didn't die. Gene Hackman was keeled over in the mudroom, and she was in the bathroom keeled over. and it sounds like they may have been dead for a week or two because like they were starting to mummify. And then there was the dog that died was in a closet. So the reports say a closet. Like I thought maybe a kennel, you know, because you put your dog in a kennel and like if you were to keel over and die, like your dog would starve. But like, why the fuck was the dog in the closet? And of course, the headlines were like, "Oh, there's pills spilled everywhere in the bathroom." Well, it was his wife's thyroid medication, you know, like fucking Oxycontins, you know, or whatever. But like, did she have a heart attack? And because he's 95, he's like, "Oh God," he like gets his like trying to get his clothes on to go out and get help. Like, I'm Gene Hackman. I don't know how to use a phone anymore. And he then like keels over in the mudroom. And then like nobody noticed, so the groundskeepers were like, "We haven't seen him in a while." But anyways, this fucking headline is Gene Hackman's neighbor makes admission days after was found dead next to wife.
Oh, Jesus.
Mind you, they weren't next to each other. In the fucking article, it basically says like, "Oh yeah," like a New York Times reporter went and like it's a gated community, and their admission was that we never saw him.
Oh.
Like they kept to themselves. And one guy says, "You know, they have a gate, we have a gate, we just never seen each other."
Wow, great.
So it's like, yeah, dude. That is like that's the admission. Like, oh, fucking bullshit. The other one was the Mystic might remember it. Remember the Detroit, like the kids who died in a casino parking ramp in Detroit in the cold.
Yeah, I do remember that. It was a couple of months ago.
Yeah, and I think early February, and the headline made you think like these fucking parents are like, "Oh, we gotta go hit those slots. Like, kids, you stay in the car. We're gonna go gamble all night." No, the whole family was in the vehicle, and it was because they were.
Thought. Yep. Sorry.
And
go
like,
ahead.
I'm just saying, like the headline immediately made me think of like some shitty fucking parents.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Oh, it did me too. I was like instantly. I was like, "Motherfuckers left their kids in the car."
And then if you didn't actually read the article. And then when I read it, I'm like, that's even sadder.
Like 4 kids or some shit. Yeah, like fucking.
Oh yeah, it was a van full of people.
Froze to death.
Well, and the thing is, I was just like looking at it just now because of this. Fuck what you think. And actually, the kids ruled that it was carbon monoxide poisoning. Like even though they were on a parking ramp, like it's probably just the air circulation wasn't enough if you're leaving your engine running.
Well, they might have had fucking holes in their goddamn floor too if it was an old piece of shit car.
Yeah.
Get exhaust up in that fucking. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, if it's really old, like the fucking seals of the. You're sitting stagnant, but yeah, just these fucking headlines that like they infer something that's not there when you read it.
Yeah. All right. Fuck them headlines. Oracle tax hike.
Yeah. Fuckers raise my appraised value for my house, so now I'm
damn my house being worth more.
Yeah. Well, then I get a nice bill notice from the bank. They're like, "Oh, well, your escrow's got to go up because your tax bill went up. So here, suck on this."
Yeah.
Fucking
America. How much more a month is that going to be?
It's like I think it's like 125 more a month.
Which... I mean, yeah, that's more than like an average rental increase. At least, well, take that back though. Like, there's a lot of places around here. It's like, oh yeah, it's going to be $100 more a month in rent, and it's like, it's ridiculous.
Well, yeah, I mean that's ridiculous. But it's like, okay, awesome. What more am I getting out of the like? What is my money getting?
Your increased value in that asset.
That
is. Right. I mean, you don't feel it. You just feel the money getting suckled out of your fucking account. But
right. But they don't determine the value. So they didn't come and appraise the how, like they just arbitrarily raise the fucking value of it. And they did that citywide, which I get. That's how they do this or whatever. But you know,
that makes me wonder: does everyone's go up the same percentage?
I don't know if it went up the same percentage, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
sure.
Like I understand that it's like you got to appreciate that your house has got more value, but also it's be like, well, why did you decide it's this much? Because like you can keep this shit cheap for me till I'm actually ready to sell it, and then you can say it's worth as much.
Right. Yeah. So it's like, thanks. I'll remember that when I fucking
thanks, city.
When you don't fix the pothole in front of my fucking house.
The school referendum, which would help your own child. You're like,
yeah.
Fucking no.
They don't need pencils, little fuckers. All right, Teddy, nothing.
I got nothing. My life's pretty great.
Attaboy.
Wow. Okay.
Getting that ass.
Teddy says, "Fuck white people." In all seriousness, go fuck yourself, MAGA Nation. That's our show. We're going to be here every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Central. Make sure you join the conversation at theredeyereport.com and facebook.com/redeyereport. Like us, share us, and fuck us. We're down for whatever. I'm Mystic.
I'm Oracle.
This is the Ashtray.
And I'm Sid.
And this is the Red Eye Report.
Tickle me, Teddy.